a proper leader. We all need somebody we could actually work with, and not someone who's wrong in Iraq, wrong in Afghanistan, wrong in Iran, wrong in the economy, wrong in social policy, wrong on a whole series of other judgments that he has made mistakes on. John McCain is wrong. We need better than wrong. We need this now, and this is what I'm going to propose to you, that John McCain is not the man for the moment. If he was ever a man for a moment, it was yesterday, and that was then. This is now. Thank you.
As many times as you say John McCain is wrong, it does not make him wrong. Petty insults will not create economic policy out of thin air. Neither do good personal features make a good leader. We have been attacked on McCain's foreign policy. Yes, he did say we will be in Iraq 100 years, if that is necessary. We're still in Germany, after all. It's only been 56 years, I think, or so. We could be there for another 100. You never know. The thing is, pulling out now is not the answer to Iraq. You can debate whether it was right to have gone in, but it's too late for that debate. As we speak, Christian minorities are being killed in Mosul, in Iraq. 8,300 people have been driven out of their homes in the last month. Sunni militias are wandering the streets, checking ID cards at night, and shooting people in the head. Will pulling out the only stable military force in the region actually solve that problem? You tell me. Maybe it will. Or maybe you'll have genocide again. People cried about Rwanda, about the United States not taking action. You'd have us do the same thing again. We have to do we have to work with what we have now, not what we had in 2001 when we were talking about going to war. You talk about tax breaks for the rich. You talk about tax breaks for big corporations. When in 2005, it was Barack Obama who voted for tax breaks for oil companies. Tax breaks that McCain voted against, even though the Republican Party voted for them. I think maybe if my noble opposition had actually checked Obama's voting history, what little voting history that is, they might have seen that he is rather inconsistent with his rhetoric. You talk about Sarah Palin as a bad choice in government. Maybe she is, but in 2000, McCain's actual quote on the duties of the vice president were, "The vice president is to inquire daily into the health of the president and to attend the funerals of minor third world dictators." That's his idea of the role of the vice president. As far as dropping dead, I believe Barack Obama has a far greater chance of getting shot in the next week than Obama does of dying before 2012. Obama continues to propose policies that will drive the economy into the ground. He tax increases for 5% and handouts to 95%. There's a net loss there. So is there a net loss with subsidies for corn farmers, for ethanol production, student loan programs that have no... I get it.
30 seconds.
Give him 30 seconds, whatever.
I'll wrap up. As it is, just because you're a good demagogue, just because you can stand on a soapbox and make a good statement, doesn't mean you don't have to vote. Barack Obama has been uncommitted to the political position he has already held in American politics. If he couldn't be a good senator, why should he be a good president?
So first of all, I would like to remind the House that this debate isn't why Barack Obama shouldn't be president. It's why we should vote for McCain. We've spent this entire time hearing from the proposers of this movement why Obama isn't ready for his post. But why is McCain? One of the biggest issues, and one that we've been focusing on and haven't heard anything about from the proposers, is environmental issues. McCain is appallingly weak on this issue. The rest of the world has gotten on board with things like the Kyoto Protocol and other debates and conferences. Even the UN and other international bodies, which are notoriously slow at getting involved in these kinds of issues, have all come together to agree that this is a crisis. And McCain proposes to do almost nothing. Obama, on the other hand, is looking at $150 billion in renewable energy over the next 25 years, 10% decreases by 2012, and hopefully closer to 25 by 2025. And these are real numbers. He has research and experts to back it up. and he wants to make a move on it. His voting record in Congress has also reflected this. We go, as the proposer said earlier, the two biggest issues are fiscal and foreign policy. You've heard a lot about Iraq. What about the rest of foreign policy? High-level officials in the U.S. State Department have called McCain's stance on Russia and his response to Russia's aggression in Georgia dangerous and irresponsible responses, because he is taking a stand that is immovable and against talking. They're talking about another Cold War. What about Afghanistan? McCain proposes that we stay in Iraq for as long as we can, for up to 100 years or more. Afghanistan hasn't been mentioned. He hasn't even focused on it, and yet the country is crumbling to pieces after our intervention there. What about fiscal policy? McCain is proposing to keep big business in the place that it is, helping people who are already making money and already going to ride out this financial wave in the place that they are with the money that they're making. He proposes that Iran should have stricter sanctions and we shouldn't talk to them, and yet allows loopholes that allow big business and people who are already making money to continue to do so through Iran and through its oil. He thinks that we should continue with Bush's unilateral movements without talking to the rest of the world. How has that worked out in the last 8 years? Have we become more popular or safer? Back to the fiscal part of this. In all of McCain's stance in politics, he has voted for 4 of the 5 Bush annual spending bills. 4 out of 5, amounting to $8.9 trillion in debt. How is that responsible? How is that a good fiscal plan to help us pull out of one of the biggest economic crises and recessions that we have seen since the Depression? Mortgages. McCain talks about Joe the plumber, who Obama wants to hurt by, adding higher taxes. Why? How is Joe the plumber helped by losing his house and by losing his job to foreign markets because big business needs to keep their sweatshops open in China? Sorry, I didn't see the time. Okay.
My last take. You good?
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so in closing, Obama is clearly more fit for the position, and that we should focus on the real issue, which is why to vote for McCain, why not to vote for Obama.
It should be the first rule of any democratic political system that a politician is chosen by the merit of their actions and not by the brilliance of their rhetoric. We have seen too much of populists and demagogues who transpire to seduce the public with empty promises and hollow platitudes. We have seen one man take on the world with a storm of words. From every corner of the globe, he is hailed as an agent of change. His motto is hope. Yet no one seems to question his ability to deliver in reality those things he inspires in the dreams of the masses. No one seems to doubt his ability to spin more than wind into existence. No one seems to wonder whether he really is truly the catalyst for change, or just another power-hungry politician exploiting the hopes and dreams of the disenfranchised. Barack Obama is not the answer to our prayers. He is not the leader we need. He has not been to the mountain, and he has not seen the promised land. You would give this man the power to lead a nation when he has proven that he is incapable of fulfilling those duties he already possesses. He can't do a good job.
What's happened is happened. It's in the past. We can argue about it. We can say we were wrong. We can say voting issues and records are awful. But let's talk about the future. Dylan says hope is what Obama preaches. He says it like it's a bad thing. God forbid we tell the people to hope for a better future for their kids. McCain has consistently chosen irresponsible choices, like saying, it's all right, I know I chose a bad vice president, because she won't do anything anyway. Is that the world that you want people to live in, want your kids to live in? He doesn't want to act on climate change issues, because who cares if we can't live in this world in 20 years? Why, beautiful Alaskan preserves can be dug for oil because right now, that's what we need. We need the oil now, so don't think about the future. Don't think about the fact that your kids won't be able to hike or see the world. People who can't own their houses in the future, that's all right. The economy will go back to where it was before because that's turned out really well. We'll end up with another crisis like where we are now. Backstreet abortions, nothing to worry about.
All about
Look for a future. Look for a better hope. Vote Obama.